Welcome to Boss Cowboy Sports, and we bringing you another edition of the Boss Cowboy Measure Kool-aid Report. And so we talking about Ronald Jones. So I'm pretty sure a lot of people have questions in the Cowboy Nation on, is he a quality substitute for Ezekiel Elliott? That's what most of us would be asking. It makes sense to ask that question. We lose Zeke, we acquire Ronald Jones. So is he that guy? That's going to be the question. Can he replace the 12 touchdowns, close to 900 yards on a bad leg? That's a common sense question. Well, the first thing to look at when you take a look at Ronald Jones is the fact that he didn't have a bunch of attempts at all. So we could go through his history, but we always want to start with the film. So one of the things that I looked at, especially when you're looking at Ronald Jones, is you look at his history of performances, and you can see he doesn't have a lot of attempts with either the Kansas City Chiefs or Tampa Bay. He looked like he was being used less and less. But the thing is, sometimes that's not bad, because when you're looking at somebody that's used to the level that he was or not used, sometimes that's good because it's not a lot of tread on those tires. Because even though he didn't have a lot of attempts, his average was pretty good throughout most of his attempts. And when you go look at his actual production, especially his last year in the regular season, you can see most of his attempts came on January 7th. So you can see it was right there at the end that you can see his attempts. So that's what we go take a look at, because I want to look at your more recent carries more than looking at you when you was at your absolute greatest, your best years. I want to know, what have you done for me lately? So if we look at him basically closing out a game, we looking at him being a closeout back versus Las Vegas. And so you can see he has bursts. You can see he hit that hole extra fast, extra hard. But keep in mind, this is closing out a game. Okay? So a game they was well ahead. But one of the best indications of a running back is, what does he do when closing out a game? Because we also want him to be a similar closeout back like Zeke was, or a money back like Zeke was on third and short or red zone. So this is one of the best ways to kind of see his abilities watching him close out. So similar to Zeke, you can kind of see he seems to be the guy that pushes the pile forward. That's what you want to see if you're trying to replace Zeke with a type of Zeke. Right there, I would want him to continue to drive his legs, because I felt like if he would have drove his legs with just the discipline to drive your legs, he maybe could have pulled out of that tackle. His legs stopped moving right there. I think he could have got about 2 more yards out of that. But other than that, you can still see the things that you want to see. Now, right there, he had no help from his offensive line. They just basically ready to go. You can tell, because basically everybody won that has on black, So he had no help at all on that play. So I'm not going to give him a minus. I will more so curse out his offensive line right there. But this is what you want to see right here, that can give you some optimism in terms of his usage for the Dallas Cowboys. You can see it was nothing there, but that burst put him out of a bad environment. He was surrounded with black shirts, got out of it, kept his feet moving, and was able to basically seal the game with his legs and ended on a knee. So when I'm looking at Ronald Jones, I don't quite know if he's a great substitute for Zeke. It's just not enough to really just kind of hang your hat on. So like when you go look, we already showed this, but showing this one more time, it's not a lot there. He only played in 6 games. He only had 17 attempts, and most of those attempts is what we just saw in that closeout game. Even though his average was good, was that really enough to give you confidence that he can replace Zeke. My only confidence in this whole situation is the confidence that I always have. And that's the confidence in, honestly, Will McClay. Sometimes we all have guys that we wish we could have got, right? We all have that. We have guys that we wish we could have got. And when you get another chance to go get your guy, you go get your guy. And so maybe Ronald Jones was a previous Will McClay pet cat. A guy, hopefully, that he always felt never got the opportunities in the NFL. Because right now, out of all this free agency, that is one of the weirdest ones. Just being honest with you. Just watching us sign somebody with very little tread on their tires. That's almost opposite of what front office usually does. So if he end up working out and being a super quality running back, which is looking like we gearing up to be a committee, and if that committee can have better production than what we saw out of Zeke, I'm fine with it. But I won't look at the evidence and say that it's apparent that that's getting ready to happen, because I would be assuming. Like, I don't think it's enough data. I don't think it's enough film to just cheer and run for the moon and say this is the Zeke replacement. He might be, he might not be. Now keep in mind, remember when Zeke was holding out, I just want to kind of bring this back to people's memory. When Zeke was holding out, I want to just make sure people remember that we signed Alfred Morris and we turned around and got rid of him. So I said today on Twitter that the running back market is so bad right now in terms of what they paying now. I wouldn't be surprised if Zeke want to come back. And I would welcome it. I would welcome it because there's way more evidence on Zeke being productive than it is even on Ronald Jones. So I'm going to just tell you the truth. It's way more evidence on Zeke's production, even with that bad knee, than what we see out of Ronald Jones. You know, so I'm going to just be honest with you. Could he be a home run sleeper pick? He's obviously a Marshalls, looking at the fact of when he was drafted, a second round pick. That's obviously what the Cowboys have been doing. They've been going after these previous greats, people that was previously drafted high. They've been doing that. That's how they filled their holes. They're doing the same thing. So could he be that sleeper guy? Maybe. Would I bet my house on it? Absolutely not. So anyway, I want to present to y'all another Measure Kool-Aid report and give you the film that we have on deck. It's not a lot, but the film that we able to kind of just review Ronald Jones and give y'all a realistic feel, a little feel of what you might get. So y'all stay up. We got the final word coming. Obviously, we're going to talk about this. It's going to be real interesting. It's Boss Cowboy Sports, where your voice matters. Y'all stay up. Peace.
Boss Cowboy Sports, where your voice matters.
Another one.
Run it up, run it up.
Bring it real back. He be speaking his mind. That boy with the shit.
Yep. Y'all stay tuned to that final word. It's coming. No switching up.
If we locked in, ain't no switching up.
It's Boss Cowboy Sports, where your voice matters. Let's get it.
Boss Cowboy Sports.
Run it up, run it up.